our second Artist Club webinar. And if this is your second time joining us, welcome back. Really what today is about is that we want you to feel super comfortable utilizing all the resources that we have under the dashboard. So today we're going to do a quick overview of the dashboard and the social media guide so you feel really comfortable using all these tools.
So if you guys want to just mute yourselves for a little bit, that's probably best. Maybe just for 5 minutes, and then we're going to have some discussion about some things that we assigned you last time. So Laura, let's start with the dashboard. We just want everybody to feel comfortable in utilizing really the information that's there. So Laura's going to share her screen. Here we go. So the link to the dashboard, if you don't have it, Kelly will put it in the chat there. And then the passcode is RWAG LIB, and it stands for Redwood Art Group. LIB is library. So it starts with a calendar, and that has dates of many fairs and art events that are going on. If you discover that you have another important art event coming up, or you see something that we missed, go ahead and send us an email. We can include it on our calendar. But most important are the resources. So Art Fair Content Confidential is our podcast. And then Art Business News is an online magazine. And then this is the resource library that Laura is showing us here on the far right there. And there's all kinds of really good success stories in there. There's tips for doing a successful fair, not just a successful fair. I mean, it comes to art shows, or, even if you're doing a street fair in your own local hometown, there's some good tips in there for exhibiting and pricing and things like that. Then there's some inspirational things right there. How to work it every day is a really good thing to click on, and I would explore that. Not only do you have to paint, but you've got to sell, right? If you want to sell your work, and you really do have to work it every day, and that means in regards to social media and marketing and acquiring names and getting people interested in your work, and all that type of thing. What's under sheets? Those are the, scroll back down a little. Sheet, no, the other one. Yeah. New level strategies for selling art tomorrow. Oh yeah, these are sheets these are things that you can print these off, right, Laura? Download them and print them off. Yeah, that's what those are.
Yes, they're all downloadable, and as well as the logos if you want to use those anywhere.
Yeah, and you should, because that gives you credibility. Using these logos, you're part of the Redwood Artist Club, and we have a pretty large reach. So yeah, that's kind of the dashboard. If you have any problems with it, go ahead and email Kelly. It's KELLY@redwoodartgroup.com. What's that? Does somebody have a question? No. Okay. So that's the dashboard, and hopefully you've all kind of explored that, and you know how to navigate through that. So last week, for those of you that were on the call, I gave you an assignment to acquire, collect 10 names to start your database, which is really, really important. So, and let me tell you how this kind of goes. When I started this company 15 years ago, we had a small database and one show, Art Expo New York. And in the magazine Art Business News. And, you know, through persistence and not quitting and being a duck, which is, you know, water just flows off a duck's back. So don't take anything too personally. You just keep marching on. And then, you know, now today we have 175,000 people, subscribers in our database. We have a large reach. We have 40,000 people attending our Miami event, you know, 25,000 plus in New York, and, you know, 3,000 to 5,000 at our smaller events. And, you know, that's a lot of exposure for artists and galleries, but it didn't come overnight. I mean, when we started our shows in Spectrum show in Miami, you know, it was in a tent in a field, and it took a lot of huevos to shell out that money, and it took a lot of convincing and getting exhibitors there. And we didn't have a lot of traffic. We were out giving tickets away on the street with kids with backpacks, you know, handing tickets out. And but we had a lot of persistence. Now we can't keep people out of the show. We literally have to, you know, it's more like guiding traffic and attendance than it is, you know, trying to get people in the doors. We have so many people coming in. So, you know, you kind of have to look at your list and your management of your accounts and the collectors and things like that the same way. You get one collector, and the easiest place to sell another piece of art to is to that same collector, because they've already liked your work and they've already purchased your work. So that's very important. You're going to find that you're going to get 20 collectors one day, and out of those 20 collectors, 4 or 5 of them are going to buy multiple pieces. And, you know, that's your goal. So did anybody out there, this is kind of a loaded question, and I'm not acting like an attorney right now because I don't know if anybody has an answer, but I'm certainly hoping that somebody speaks up and says, I did acquire 10 names. Anybody?
I did acquire probably
Good.
10 names exactly.
You did?
Yes. And
Who are they? Just kidding, Jewel.
yeah, well, you're on the list, but I'm having problems with I'll talk to Hannah later this week on the group emails.
Okay.
I can tell you about group emails.
Great.
Hi, Eric.
Hi.
Hans is on the tennis court because he isn't going to miss it, but I'm sitting in for him. So first of all, I want to say, I think I've known Eric since almost the beginning of Art Expo, and he is a great supporter of artists. And early on, when Hans was in the show, he took time to speak to Hans, and he tells us, by the way, he's been doing a couple of videos lately, Eric, and he uses you as the person. He doesn't name you, but he says, this person in New York at this art show told me, if I want to be a real painter, I have to make at least 50 paintings a year. And I think probably he has made more than that over many years, Eric, but he's getting older now. So, you know, he thinks it might be going down to 45, but the information that Eric provides is really valuable. And he is a very generous person to share it with many people in the art community, but particularly artists who are independent artists. I will tell you that he is correct. We sold paintings sometimes at an art expo show. Sometimes it was afterwards. And then people reached out to us and we have shipped them multiple paintings. So, but you know, the thing is the collectors their houses are only so big, and my husband paints really large paintings. So it's important to, you know, to keep trying to develop that. But, so yes, it does happen.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And I just got off the tennis court. Make sure you
Oh,
tell.
see, okay, all right, yeah, all right. But in terms of group emails, what I would suggest, because I have, I do this, from the Redwood team's advice years ago, we did start collecting a lot of names. And at an art show, we always, when all the shows that we did on, I still have them, we have notebooks where if people come in and they like your stuff and you say, oh, thank you, can I have your email? Sometimes they give you a card, and we keep those, and we still email to, to the people that we have in that database. But when you're doing a group email, I guess the etiquette for one is to put all of the people that you're emailing to under the blind CC. That way, when they answer, it goes only to you. If you just put it in the to category, then every time, like I have some that have 100 people on it. Well, those other 99 people don't want to hear what one person had to say to me. So what I did, because, my getting up there in years too, and I can't remember this every time, I Googled it, how to do a group email, and I printed it off and I keep it in a folder for all of my PC things that I can't remember. And sometimes when you're in a hurry, you forget, and you wind up sending it to all people, and then you hit your head and say, well, that was stupid. But the key is making the groups. If you go into Google, they'll tell you how to make a group list. You name it. Like we have a friends and family list. We have a collectors list. We have people who are, interested in art, art shows, gave us their names, whatever. And we name them, and then you can just pull up that label. It will populate all the names that you've put in there. And by the way, I'm not, a tech person. So I would say, Google it, write it down, print it out, and keep it in your folder when you're going to send these things out. But it makes it a whole lot easier. In the beginning, when I would do this for the art shows, I didn't know how to do a group list, and I would be typing in like 100 names. And if you make one name wrong, then, then that one doesn't go out. So, the group list is a great convenience, and with a little bit of repetition, it becomes a lot easier.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Barbara. Yeah, BCC.
BCC.
And if you do have to put somebody in the to section, I usually put my name, my own.
Correct. We do the same thing, Eric.
Yeah.
Or I should say, I do the same thing. I don't think Hans could send out a group email if his life depended on it.
But he's a good painter.
You can also use a tool like a MailChimp. Then if you can
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, we obviously use a more expensive software for the company. It's called HubSpot. And, it's, I mean, we are when you have a database as large as ours, you're paying $35,000 a year just to store your data and utilize, email lists and things like that. It's like $3,000 a month. Yeah, it's expensive. So if you can just keep it, smaller, it's a benefit. It saves you money, but more people you get, the better. And the way to collect those is at shows, or just even in and around town, or whatever you can do to collect names is just important. And then start that database, and then make sure that you stay in touch with people. You did a pretty good job, Ed, on your email. It was like, hey, do you want to follow me? And really appreciate it.
You actually got it?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Because now I can't find that list. That's why I need to talk to Hannah. I don't want to take up time today talking about it, but I'm headed in the right direction if you received it. And
Yeah.
And it did not end up in BCC because it just automatically went to C or whatever.
No. BCC just means blind copy. It goes right into everybody's inbox.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's perfect. Yeah, it just means you're not showing everybody's name that you're sending it to. That's all it means.
Exactly.
Well, but Eric, in addition to that, it means that when somebody replies, it doesn't go to everybody. It only
That's
goes to you, because your collectors will quickly, stop opening your emails if they think that, 990 people are going to say, oh, that was great. How are you doing?
Right. That's right. Yeah.
I have a question.
It's a great deal.
When you collect names at art shows in your guest book or however you collect them, do you need to get permission to add them to your mailing list?
You asked them that
Okay,
at the time. I mean, I always did. Oh, you know, when we have your name, we'd like to let you know. I mean, would you like to be on our mailing list? I mean, you just kind of asked that. I mean, there might have been a few people who said, no, I don't want to give you my name, but by and large, most people, they're there, they're interested in art. And if they like what you have, I think most times they say it's okay.
yeah, I suspect they do, and I've collected names at art shows and put them on my mailing list. But somewhere along the line, I've read that legally or
Yeah.
something, you have to formally get their permission for MailChimp, for example, to add them.
That's
Oh,
right.
maybe for a third party, yeah.
You do. Yeah. So yeah, with MailChimp or any of those other softwares, you definitely have to have permission. But if they're on your own database, Linda, it's no big deal.
Thank you. I'll be right back.
Okay. Somebody at the door?
Yeah, and I will have to leave directly for a doctor's appointment. It's 30 minutes away.
Okay. Well,
Sorry, it was a phone call.
but well, I mean, kind of today's thing was really collect the names, now build an email, and we have information on how to do that. Add some pictures and then keep it fresh, right? And have your website in there so people can go in. And then next month, send another email and just write a little bit about yourself. Hey, I got 4 paintings done this month, or whatever it may be. Include those paintings, create some interest, and that's what it's all about. And keep it going. And you'll make some sales. Trust me, somebody will be like, oh God, I love that piece. I wonder if he still has it, or you know, that stuff will happen. Also, Instagram and Facebook were your other things to start, and I wanted you to post 5 times. So, you know, if you haven't done that, make sure you get that done. Those of you that were not on the call last week, that's your mission, is to, you know, collect 10 names and post 5 Instagram and Facebook posts. And Hannah can help you with that, you know, if you need help with that.
Great.
Hannah, do you have anything to add?
I do not.
Oh, come on.
Unless there's
I-
any more questions about social media, then I'm happy to help.
I have a question about collectors. The only way to get the names of collectors should be like in an exhibition when you put a book for signing, or it's good to Google for collectors. It's worth.
Instagram and Facebook will get you more collectors if you tag your work. So that's where Hannah comes in. She can teach you how to grow your Instagram followers by tagging your work. Abstract, hashtag this. Other people will notice it. It'll pop up on their reels, whatever. I think those reels are really important too. If you do a little video of yourself, like I made this new painting today, it reminded me of this, blah, 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 you know, that's kind of interesting stuff. I mean, you know, you guys have all seen that stuff. There's that guy who does all the credit card stuff, you know, he's really funny, in fact. And he's like, yeah, I got this new credit card. This is to give you the points and all. I mean, you know, you have to have some personality there, right?
Sure.
But yeah, you know, she
I
can
will
help.
ask you, Hannah, for some tips later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You can do that.
Could I have
Oh,
a question for Hannah?
yeah, sure.
If I am regularly posting on Instagram and it automatically posts on Facebook, is that the complete step, or do I need to follow up on Facebook?
No, that would be the complete step. The reason it also posts to Facebook is because it's under Meta, so it's under the same company. So it's really just the same post being generated to Facebook.
Okay.
So your
Perfect.
followers you might have different followers on Facebook. Some
I
people
do.
might not use Instagram. So
Okay.
it's a good way to keep, you know, both of your audiences seeing, you know, your work.
Great.
There is a section in Facebook where you will get the same direct messages that you would receive on your Instagram on your Facebook account. So it's
Okay.
just wherever you prefer to respond in that sense.
Great, thank you.
How many followers do we have now, Hannah?
We have across the board from all of our fairs, we have a combined over 200,000 followers. So
Wow.
definitely make sure that, especially for, you know, Art Expo and any upcoming fair that you're in, that you're tagging us. And then we can even, you know, send me an email with some content that you think that would be really great for us to share, and we'll post it.
Great.
And then if anybody's interested in having some of their work represented at Art Expo coming up in New York, you know, we have this Art on View thing. There's 13 plus monitors around. There's 65-inch monitors. So they're pretty big around Art Expo all over the hall. And, you know, for $100 an image, you can send it to Kelly. And then you could buy, if you wanted to spend $500, you'd have 5 images and they would rotate for 4 days. And then it has your contact info, even if you're not in the show. So it's a way to get exposure while, you know, you're not in the show, and you don't have to ship your work. You don't have to be there. You don't have to buy a hotel, you know, all that kind of stuff.
What's
But-
the deadline for that?
It's what?
What is the deadline? How much time do I have?
Yeah, as much time as we can put it together. So I think we open on April 4th. I think Laura said March 15th.
Okay, great.
Yes,
Yeah.
please. By March 15th.
Yeah. Don't make her get nervous like 5 days. I want,
The sooner the better.
Don't email me at the show.
although
And I
if
was
you
just
were-
gonna say real quick, and also for hashtagging, you can do hashtag Redwood Artist Club as well. And Hannah will pick up on it.
Oh, because I do Redwood Art Group on hashtag on everything I do.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Redwood Art Group, the hashtagging is more for other people to find you, but the tagging where you specifically tag us in the post, whether that's in the caption or in the image itself, then we can see it on our end, and it also lives under our tagged photos in our Instagram feed.
And how do I do that on Instagram?
So it's all in the social media doc to tag
Oh,
people.
okay.
Yeah, I will tag Redwood Art Group artists also.
For a hashtag.
I don't know if that's, yeah, for a hashtag.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
You like the way Hannah did that, Jewel? It's all in the social media doc. She's making you do your homework, right? Like she had a wooden ruler. She was slapping you. There you go. Thanks, Laura.
And then for anyone that did the assignment or maybe didn't do the social media assignment, what were some challenges, or was it easy for you? I guess we can kind of go into that to see if there's any way that I can help make it easier.
Well,
How do you take individual pictures or images and put them in a reel? I'm like, you know, Instagram just makes me anxious every time I try and post something, because I never know whether I'm doing it right or not. And then I have a gallery that says, oh, collaborate, hit this and it'll be fine. And I'm like, okay, where's the collaborate button? And I have to sit there for either call him or ask him or whatever. So yeah. And they says, oh, you can make your images and then you can do reels as opposed to do, you know, individual videos. So I haven't quite figured that one out yet.
So that you can either do in the Instagram app itself. You can create a reel and then you swipe up to tag all the photos you want to include.
Okay.
And then you can chop it based on how long you want it to be. When it comes to reels, especially if you're new to creating them, if you go to your reels explore page, like if you were just to scroll the feed of your Instagram, and instead of looking under the images, kind of like the main homepage, there's a reels tab. I think it has like a
Mhm.
little button. If you
Yeah.
scroll through there, some of those audios will have templates with them. So you can
Ah.
use the template and plug in your own images, and it'll use the sound, or you can use your own sound, whatever it is, but that makes it really easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe I can even find some really good examples of images with some sound and templates, and I can link them in, maybe we could do it in the next webinar, so you guys have a database of
Great.
really good
That'd be
ideas.
great.
Okay. All right. Hannah's making notes on our Google Doc to do that for the next webinar. All right, so if you have any questions, you can email Kelly@redwoodartgroup.com or Hannah, Hannah, spelled the same way both ways, at redwoodartgroup.com. Barbara, make sure you tell Hans I said hello.
I
Miss you.
will. I'll tell him that. How was your tennis game today, Eric?
I have only played 3 times in 10 months because I had 2 detached retinas.
I
So
know.
I'm just
How are you
getting
doing?
back. And today I'm starting to hit pretty hard again, so it's fun. It's getting much better. And I have my next operation on Friday.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh.
hope all goes well.
Yeah, hopefully I'm in New York and seeing much better on my right eye. But our next webinar is March 20th. And in between now and then, if you have any questions, reach out to us. And other than that, enjoy spring break.
No
Bye,
assignment
everybody.
today?
That's it. What's that,
Okay.
Linda?
I said no assignment today?
Actually, I did have an assignment for you. Thank you for reminding me.
Darn.
Oh, the assignment we kind of went over. The assignment is, now that you have your 10 names, it's to build the next email. So it's to take some pieces of your art, and it was to add your personality in there and to write just a very brief, I'm talking 1 paragraph type of thing with some pictures of your work.
Mhm.
Hey, thanks for letting me reach out to you. I was able to paint these, or here's some of my other work, or whatever it may be. And put the prices in there. Don't be embarrassed about that. Put the sizes in there so people can tell what it is. And then go ahead and send it out. And I'm going to tell you one quick thing before we sign off. It's like taking an ad in a magazine. Do not expect, if you take an ad in, say you took an ad in Art News magazine or Art in America, full page ad, or Architectural Digest. Nobody's going to open that magazine, look at your work, and pick up the phone and call you and say, I want to buy that. That's not what it's about. What it's about is, hey, did you see my ad in Architectural Digest in creating credibility? Did you see my work on the Redwood Art Group site? Did you see the email I sent you? If you want to reach out to them, I just wanted to make sure you saw my new work. If you're interested, let me know. That's what that's about. It's just about staying in front of people. So do that. Don't include too many pieces because you don't want to overwhelm somebody. It's like when I say to somebody, I'd love to see your work, and I get this email, it's got 1 million pieces. 5 is enough. 5 or 6 pieces is enough to choose from. Yeah. But that's your assignment between now and the next, is to make sure you get at least 1 or 2 emails out in the next, 1 a month is good, but 2 a month is fine too. I mean, we send out, probably 3 emails a week, just to different people, some to our attendees, some to our collectors, some to our exhibitors, but we've got emails going out all the time. So thank you, Linda. That was the assignment.
Okay.
One last question. The Redwood tag that you suggested that you see that I include on Instagram photos, it was Redwood. It was not Redwood Art Group. It was Redwood
Art Group to include in photos. Redwood Artist Club is
Artist
a
Club.
hashtag
Okay.
we can use.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank
We'll
you.
talk soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You all have fun.